Nope.
Everyone, welcome to GAHCast, the show where one of our hosts thinks an Intel Celeron is a good processor for gaming and editing. I'm your host, Hydrowave99. I'm joined here by my good friends FluufAlpaca and GhostwellerGame. How is everyone doing tonight?
You made that personally, you fucking cunt. Number one, it's a fine computer, alright? It handles Filmora. And two, go fuck yourself. Great, got it, good.
Alright. Alpaca, how are you tonight?
4 cores, 4 threads. What else are the specs? Oh yeah, no GPU,
Alright,
HD 620, no UHD 610, I think. It's only $230. Wait, the bargain. Bombing the gun.
This is the best part of the episode. We can just roast on the other hosts. Anyways, besides that, for this video, I mean, it's okay. So, one of the things I am proud to announce today is that we are finally available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Audible, you name it. We have finally been able to expand the podcast to more places and more people to listen to. For those of you who have been listening to me while I've been trying to get the podcast up on these other places, well, thank you very much. I hope you've been able to enjoy what you've listened to thus far, and we just hope to keep, making this show better as time goes on. Also, for those of you watching this on YouTube, you probably know some slight tweaks to the UI for the video. And I hope these slight changes make for a better and more entertaining show. Meanwhile, did anyone have anything new to share with, like, how they've gotten any new technology or games or anything of the sort?
This fucking guy thinks we're rich. We buy electronics every week.
Just like anything, like if you have you played any games, have you like interacted with technology, like how, like anything of the sort.
What do you mean interactive with technology? What the? You literally dissed on my computer and then you have the balls to come tell me how am I interacting with it? The fuck is wrong with you, you goddamn piece of shit?
So, how much porn have you installed onto the hard drive?
0. Anyways, talking about porn, that's a great segue for OnlyFans. Hydro, take it away. You cock.
Okay, fine. I guess we're gonna start with OnlyFans, and I was hoping to start off with.
Nope, we're starting it off with a bang.
All right.
It's a perfect segue, so I took it.
All right. So, well, I guess it's loaded. So, for those 5 people who didn't know, OnlyFans was about to ban its whole sexual content thing due to it lacking in the ability for it to get investors to support it. And so we just happen to know that OnlyFans has been able to suspend its ban on sexually explicit content. So
That put a lot of porn stars out of business.
Oh my god, like, think about it this way. If this actually was able to go through, it's like having the entire industry, just completely, that whole, think about how many people who use that site would be just out of business. It would have been insane.
I wouldn't say out of business. They would find like another substitute. If not, another app developer will make another substitute. So.
Or just go to Pornhub. I don't know. But anyways.
Yeah.
Literally, if they want to get into that sort of shit, there's plenty of options and not just,
Yeah.
Not the one thing that got popular because of it.
Yeah, it just happened to be that, this show, this app or site, it just became popular. Like Tag said, it became popular because of the fact that it was able to attract so many people who wanted to do porn on it. It was not meant to be that, but there it is. But yeah, it managed to not attract many investors and stuff because of its sexually explicit content, and OnlyFans wanted to ban it because they wanted to get some investment on it, which, let's face it, made a lot of backlash. So, at least for now, these content creators are going to be happy to know that they won't be getting, money shipped, lost or anything like that. So I can't think of words.
Oh, it's okay. They'll still be able to monetize their pixels.
Right. And some fame.
And get
not some fame,
lonely losers to jerk to it.
Right. Ghost, do you have any other thoughts on the topic?
So, if they do, all right.
There's a lot of Reddit boards that can substitute. Just kidding.
Damn it! I was gonna make that joke. That Reddit would be a perfect place. Fuck. Well, there goes my joke. So, nope, I don't have words for this one because think of it like this: we literally refer to OnlyFans, right? We refer to OnlyFans as OnlyFans, like straight up subbing to people who want to show their tits. But when creators and developers think of OnlyFans, they're like, oh, an application that people can use either as Patreon or as, whatever. It's crazy to me because the way that we look at it already is like, OnlyFans, we're going to sell feet pics, lol. And I'm like, all right. The fuck was that laugh? Swear to God, I heard a clown. But, it's crazy to me on why they are now changing their mind when they knew that this was going on for God knows how long.
Right. So, okay, that makes sense. So, do you have anything else to say about this topic besides the fact that it's a relief for those that want to create content on the site and other things?
Big Titty Gothic better hit me up. We're talking about this band. She better hit me up.
All right.
We're giving her the forewarning.
I'd only ever have to say, the only thing that I think is probably they didn't see it coming because, they just
no,
now
they didn't see it coming.
They just now realized, oh shit, we're losing money this way. But now they dug themselves too far in that grave, so.
Yeah. Okay. One thing I was going to mention before we started talking about OnlyFans is that the only thing I managed to grab is this.
That's not from OnlyFans, is it?
No, this is something I was going to talk about beforehand. This is a limited edition version of the physical copy of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. The game.
I'm going to act like I know what that is.
Well, do you remember the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the movie? Or any of the comic books? Well, this game was famous because back in the 360 and PlayStation 3 days, the game actually got delisted from those stores, and you couldn't get it anymore for a while. And it wasn't until literally the beginning of this year that it came back on the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC. And the thing was is that they were doing a physical release of the game, but it's limited. So that was why this was a big deal.
Yeah, I've never seen the movie. All I know is that Edgar Wright made Scott Pilgrim, and it was a really, really good movie. And I know that he made Baby Driver, which I absolutely fucking love. So
yeah, Scott Pilgrim.
All I know is this one scene of Scott's not here as he dives through the fucking window. That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah. The game itself is actually pretty good. It's like an old. It plays like Streets of Rage or the old school Ninja Turtle games, and stuff like that. So, anyways, besides that little mini distraction, I want to get on to the topic I was originally going to start off the whole thing with, and that is Gamescom. And we're going to start off with Xbox's stream because that came before the big stream,
right,
which was opening live. Now, I want to start off with the opening part of this whole thing. We're going to scroll down a bit, because I did watch the stream. And it began with Dying Light 2.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we're going to start off with that, because I remember that... Yeah, here it is.
Don't worry about the link. That's just the scene I was mentioning.
Right. But anyways, so it started off with Dying Light 2. And I remember, now this was when I was trying to hype you up on your stream, but then again, you didn't like URL links on your thing, and we had a whole minor scuffle about it. But anyways, besides that point, let's just start talking about Dying Light 2 and what it brought to the table. So the trailer they introduced took a deeper look into its combat and parkour. And it mentioned in the trailer that it introduced twice the amount of parkour combat abilities compared to the first game.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they introduced a paraglider and a grappling hook, so you can get around the whole city a lot faster.
Well, Dying Light 1 already had a grappling hook, so the paraglider is definitely a new addition, which No, paraglider is not relatively new.
Yeah. I know a lot of games have definitely been taking a lot of influence from like Breath of the Wild, because that had a paraglider and that made it really popular, and that was a really good game.
Can't be a good game just because the paraglider. It got to be a good game because of the story and how it was executed.
Yeah, and it seemed like, they are doing a lot of interesting things with the game.
Yeah.
Like, Ghost, did you watch that trailer that I sent you through Discord?
I have, and I'm relatively intrigued. I've even been watching the way that I've been watching the slow development of it and how they're making some of the monsters and how they're making the combat and etc. And I'm legitimately I'm like, yo, the second I get $60, bam, I'm buying it.
Right. Alpaca.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, Alpaca, do you have anything else to say about Dying Light 2?
Not really. I remember playing it on the Xbox a few years ago, and I guess it was definitely fun. Playing with Ghost, and I only hope that the sequel is good as well. That's pretty much all I can say.
Right.
Hope it's not like just a rehash. I hope it actually is really intriguing instead of just being an addition to
Right. Because I remember that one of the things that they are trying to do with Dying Light 2 is they're adding like moral consequences to the story, so they have different endings and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Announcement that personally got me a little shocked and like I got a little jump out was that Crusader Kings 3 is coming to Xbox Series X and S. Now, this was a game that's been historically been a PC like title series. Like, it's been like one of these really complex strategy games, and I was shocked to find out they were able to bring this to a console and controller. Now, they did something. Now, the people at Firaxis did something similar with the Civilization 6, and I got that on Switch like as soon as that thing came out. But Crusader Kings 3 is going to be on Game Pass as well, and I can just download it and just play on my Xbox Series X and try it out there. And from what I play at Crusader Kings 3, it's a very interesting strategy game. Like, you can do some weird stuff like incest and shit. Like,
what?
Yeah, you can literally have some. It's literally like playing like a medieval game simulator. You can pretty much make the Habsburgs, or like conquer all of Europe and stuff. It's a really cool game. I wish I had more time to play it, but it's really in depth.
I'm not sure if you said conquest or incest.
Both.
All right, so that's a good time for me to opt out. I don't think I'd be buying that game for. I don't know. I don't live in Alabama, so.
Well, welcome to the Middle Ages, where you literally had the Habsburgs literally get freaking. Their whole family line in Spain literally died out because someone got inbred by a bunch of siblings.
Oh, great. And that's how they made Sloth from the Goonies.
Pretty much. Another game they showed off was more Wasteland 3. and they're bringing a special edition collection of the game containing all the DLC and stuff like that. Wasteland 3 is a game that was developed by the original creators of the Fallout series, and they all are in part of a studio of In Exile, which is owned by Microsoft.
Right.
So that's a whole thing. Now, one thing that a lot of people brought up that was interesting is the fact that State of Decay 2 is actually in DLC. And the reason why that's more interesting to think about, because State of Decay 3 is actually in development. So this could potentially be like, this is the DLC it's going to try to tie in, State of Decay 2 and 3 together. Like, it's hard to say what's going to go on here. And I know none of us played State of Decay.
I haven't, only because it was really tedious. I have played a small bit of it, but I was like, yo, this is not my game. Because here's what happened for me was when I was playing State of Decay, it was like, you got to pay attention to your hunger, your food, the integrity of the building. You got to pay attention to everyone else. And I'm like, that is so many things as well as just surviving.
Right.
I'm like, that's quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I played a tad bit of it. I won't say it's like I won't say it's bad, but I found it a tad bit not even really like tedious for me. I just found it a bit like I don't know. It felt like there's so much to do, and there was so little time. I feel.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I hope that with them being that studio being officially acquired by Microsoft, that they'll have more funding to make State of Decay 3 a pretty good game. But we'll see. And another thing they showed off is that there's a collaboration with Sea of Thieves and Gearbox. So they're doing a Borderlands themed ship for Sea of Thieves. Another thing they're doing is they're adding some updates to Microsoft Flight Simulator. They're going to include Germany as like one of the like their rendered seats, like Germany, Austria, Switzerland. It's like a properly rendered like region, and they're adding a couple planes from that region, and they're even adding like a competitive like multiplayer like racing mode to the game. And Microsoft Flight Simulator is like one of the most demanding games on PC. Like similar to the memes of Crysis back in the day for PCs. Like that game like taxes your PC hard.
I do remember hearing it required like 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah, it's insane. And they did bring it to Xbox Series X and X, so I can actually play this on my Xbox.
I see.
But actually, one of the most interesting things they highlighted here was the fact they're bringing cloud gaming to Xbox Series X and X and Xbox One consoles. Now, what this is useful for is that for Xbox One players, this allows them to play Series X and X games on their Xbox One. So like when Starfield comes out, you can play Starfield on your Xbox One through the cloud. Or in the case of Xbox Series X and X, what you can do with it is that you can actually play the game while it's downloading via streaming. So you don't have to necessarily wait for the game to download. You can just play the game, and once it's done locally downloaded, then you can just hop over and switch over to the local side. Which I think that I think that's gonna be pretty useful, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ghost, do you have anything to say about this feature?
I don't know. I don't not like the idea of streaming the game and downloading it, but I wonder how that works. Like, I wonder how much. I don't know how hefty that is on not only computers and on Xboxes, but my concern is like how hefty is it on Wi-Fi if you're streaming and downloading.
That is a good point, but I mean, this is useful overall. If you have a really if you have like a gigabit internet, or like one of those people who have those really fast internet speeds, and I wish I could steal your internet for that. Like that sounds really useful for those people.
That is very interesting. Like, if your Wi-Fi is or not even Wi-Fi, but any amount of your internet, even if you're using Ethernet, if it's any a bit of subpar, you're not gonna have a fun time playing it because it's gonna be very choppy. Even though the console could be doing it like, I guess that's a good trade-off though. You do have to kind of just, like I said, trade it off.
Yeah.
It's like playing while the game is loading everything else, kind of procedurally. I don't know.
Exactly. Age of Empires 4 showed off a new history feature where they showed off cutscenes for the game that kind of explain some history and stuff like that. Forza 5, they showed up after the stream, after like the main show ended, they went off and did some Forza Horizon 5 gameplay and showed off some different cars and stuff like that, and they showed off a limited edition controller. I seen this controller online, and it's a yellow controller with like some splash paint of pink and blue. If you guys are curious, you can go watch it. And yeah, they showed off some more things about Psychonauts 2 and all that other stuff. But this show was okay overall. I mean, if I knew Ghost very well, he would have stuck it out for just the Dying Light 2 stuff, and then after that, he would have just dropped out of the stream because he thought everything else was boring.
Outlast. Skate.
Well, this is just the Xbox stream, not opening night live. That's a separate thing altogether.
I know.
That stream we're going to talk about next. That one, oh man, that one had some more hype stuff.
House of Darkness or something.
House of Ashes. That
House
we're
of
going
Ashes.
that we're going to talk about later. In fact, that wasn't even an opening night live. So yeah, we're going to go right into opening night live. And one of the things that I was actually most hyped for is the fact that it announced the Saints Row reboot. They're not doing 4, they're going right back to square one. It's a whole new set of characters, whole new world.
Will you be abducted by aliens as the president again?
No, hopefully not. Saints Row 4 was fucking awful.
No, they're really going back to square one. Good. They're going for like an entirely different. Like none of the characters from the original series are in here to complete a cast.
Good. I see. Will it be any bit of its usual formula of being kind of like GTA with like superpowers or something in a way?
No superpowers or anything. It's just like, yeah, it is. It's still kind of similar to GTA.
Not superpowers. I'm thinking of the fucking
That's Saints Row 4.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the weird like supernatural version of like I think you got
That's
what or something. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Because Saints Row 4 actually was supposed to be an expansion for Saints Row 3, but then when THQ shut down,
both of them sucked. Like, all right, I'm gonna be awful right now, but like Saints Row 4 and 3, I genuinely hated. Saints Row 1, I loved. Saints Row 2 was iffy, but like the rest of them sucked. And to see them go back to their roots and just like, hey, here's the city, go pick up a dildo bat and whop someone over the head, that was my stomping ground. Yeah.
I'm just gonna hold this here for no reason, but
put a demonetized box on it.
No, I'm not gonna do that. We'll leave that uncensored for the audience. Anyways, besides that, yeah, I did see the trailer. It's kind of taking place in like a American Southwest sort of town, like city. They're calling it Santo Iso. And like I said, it's a whole different setting. It's not like in Stillwater like the first game. It's a whole different world, whole new cast of characters. And yeah, it seems there's gonna be some mild wackiness like the series has had, but it's not gonna be like like 3 or 4 where it's super wacky.
I see.
So, anyways, the next thing they showed off is Marvel's Midnight Suns. Another one of the things. And it's actually a tactical RPG made by Firaxis, who is the developers of the Sid Meier's Civilization series. So it's going to be a strategy RPG. So I'm not much of a Marvel fan. But
Loser.
I mean, for those of you who are, I mean, this might be a game worth looking into?
Loosened.
Translucent.
They also showed off some Call of Duty Vanguard campaign gameplay, which I'm not gonna go too much in depth about that, unless two of you want to talk about it.
Whoa, Call of Duty. Oh my god. It's in World War II now. It's a completely different game. I'm so hyped.
Do you have any thoughts about this, Ghost, or do you just want to move on to the next thing they brought up?
Dude, I'm gonna be sick. I gotta go.
Okay. Yeah, do that, and I guess me and Alpaca will continue the show on from here. All right, so Ghost left, so I'm gonna just yank him out here, and we're gonna move us in the middle here, so because it just.
I wonder what it looks like in the preview for you. Now that the NDI is like it has nowhere to go.
It actually is just a frozen screen.
I see.
So I'm just gonna shift some things around on this side
Hey.
here, and yeah. So the next thing we have to talk about is Halo Infinite having its release date officially announced, and that is on December 8th. And they're also going to have a special edition Xbox Series X and a new controller, which, spoiler alerts, for those of you who've been involved in the scalping situation, it's already been sold out.
Of course, it's already been fucking sold out. Oh my god. Scalpers just grab anything that's popular right now on demand, and there's like.
Yeah, so pretty much what's going on here is that, like, so if we go back to that roadmap that we had from a couple, like last week, where we talked about the Halo Infinite roadmap, this would mean that one of the I think it was the co-op campaign won't be a thing till like March, and the other mode, the Forge, won't be available till like June. So that's something to keep in mind, is that you're not going to get Forge or co-op campaign at launch, but if you're looking for a good multiplayer experience, check Halo Infinite out. I haven't played it myself, but it looks really fun.
I see. I can't remember. I remember it being said that, like, from some random person in the chat, I think. I can't remember who it was. But it was in one of Ghostweller's streams, and he said, "Oh, it's like Animal Crossing." And I was like, "What?" So,
Wow.
hope you could explain that.
Maybe it could be possibly like the Forge mode, where you like are designing a map and everything like that. You're placing props everywhere.
But that's just Forge.
Yeah, that's
not Animal Crossing. That's not farming and shit.
Well, Animal Crossing, you're also designing your own place, so it's probably more like that part.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's the comparison I could think of, but the two games are definitely not alike at all.
No, not at all.
They also showed off this Cult of the Lamb game, which it looks like you play as a possessed lamb who has to repay the mysterious stranger who saved you from annihilation by developing and following in his name.
Oh.
So this could have been a game that Ghost would have liked, but who knows?
Who knows?
And then we have Midnight Fight Express, which was it's a beat 'em up that's developed by some developer in Poland. Not much to say on that. TMT Shredder's Revenge, and they showed off another character called April O'Neil, someone like a female character.
Wait, April O'Neil? Isn't that somebody from? Wait, what? 1 second. Isn't that from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something?
That's the whole thing. It is a Ninja Turtles game. That's what I'm saying.
Oh shit! I apologize. I'm. What the fuck is wrong with me?
So they're bringing her in as a playable character in addition to the 4 turtles.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. But pretty much what this game is, it's made by Dot Emu, which I believe has some of the former developers from one of the games I showed off earlier. So a similar art style to this game here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a beat 'em up. So, and a lot of people seem to be really hyped about this game because it seems to harken a lot back to like the old school Ninja Turtles games.
Yeah.
One of the other game they showed off and opening it live was Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. So they're essentially doing a remaster of like some of the original Ninja Turtle games.
I see.
And they're bringing in a character called Morgana who appeared in Persona 5. Little cat character.
Okay.
I'm sure you know what Monkey Ball is, right?
Yep. Definitely.
So if you're into any of that sort of stuff, go play that game. So, and then they also show up some more stuff about Splitgate. This is a shooter with Portal, but it's like, think of it like Call of Duty mixed with Portal.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. It literally is kind of like that, except it's more Halo then.
Yeah, something like that. It's a shooter. It's like Halo, Call of Duty, Portal, mix them together, and you get this. Looks like a pretty fun game though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I haven't played it myself, but it looks pretty fun.
Me too.
I could see us potentially playing that in the future at some point when we're not busy with, recording and doing other stuff.
Oh yeah.
They also showed off something for Rise Republic, that there's an open beta going on now. That is Ubisoft's like online sports game where it's like they mix like snowboarding and bike riding and stuff. I don't know if you kept up with the game at all.
Not really, no.
I haven't really either, but it seemed like it could be pretty cool if you're into that sort of like bike riding, snowboarding, skiing sort of thing.
Yeah, not for me, but I do understand it, why some people like it.
Yeah. Then you have Century Age of Ashes. This is a free-to-play dragon flying PvP game.
Mm-hmm.
So cool for that. They also have UFL, which is looks like I can't really say what this is, but by looking at it, but it looks cool, I guess. And they also show off something about Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Oh,
Which is being delayed to spring 2022.
interesting.
They showed off Synced Off Planet, which is a game in a post-apocalyptic future where robots have turned on humans, which is like nanobots. I guess they claim it's a PvPvE.
I see.
And this is a topic that Ghost wish he was able to make it for. Outlast Trials, which is a co-op survival horror game that, well, yeah, you're pretty much like, it's like an obstacle course trying to survive. I'm sure he would have been enjoying this game if he could.
Oh yeah. I the other thing I worry about is that it's like everyone is moving on to like a multiplayer sort of cash grab sort of thing.
True.
Because like, ever since that whole like, oh, single player is dead sort of statement, and how everyone's kind of been cutting out the campaign too much.
Right. I hear you. It's just a whole thing.
I just hope it's not a cash grab.
Right. I hear you.
Like a certain pachinko machine company.
Lol. Okay. Alright. Anyways, we also have Doka, which is a game from the Black Desert developers, and it looks like it's entirely different. And it looks like it's a game where it's kind of like a Pokemon-ish sort of game, but there's also skating and gliding and mini cars and boats to get around. So it looks like an open world-ish Pokemon game, but then again, who knows? Like mixed with like MMO sort of thing. It's hard to really say.
I see.
I haven't watched many of these trailers. I mean, I was gonna watch Gamescom live, but unfortunately, I kind of skipped out of it by accident.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna make my views seem a little jaded. So, for those of you looking for interesting commentary here, for like informative commentary, you're not getting it through this report. I'm just staring at these before giving my raw reactions to everything. And we have Alpaca on the side too. And we had a ghost here just talking about this if his stomach wasn't, completely jaded.
Oh yeah.
And then we have Jurassic World Evolution 2. This is a sequel to Jurassic World Evolution, which I believe is, it's made by the developers of Planet Coaster, and it's a park building game where you build your own Jurassic Park.
That sounds fun. I can tell a certain somebody who's gonna like building theme parks where it's literally fall into a pit of velociraptors.
You probably could. I wouldn't be surprised. And then you have another trailer for Far Cry 6. We've seen this plenty of times. I mean, it's not surprising.
Oh yeah.
And Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. It's a battle royale vampire game.
I'm out on that one. What? Vampire? What am I saying? Yeah. Vampire Battle Royale?
That's what it seemed like. It's World of Darkness Battle Royale up. Blood Hunt is landing here. Shark Mob showing up with new trailers. Now had an early access September 7th. And then there's Park Beyond, which is something I'm a bit more into. It's a park simulation game from the Tropical Game developers. So this could be pretty cool. It's kind of like a wacky park building game.
I see.
And then you have Jet the Far Shore, which is a space exploration game. So that could be interesting. Horizon Forbidden West got its release date, which starts at February 18th, 2022.
Okay.
This actually was a game that was supposed to release in 2021, but this one game got pushed back to 2022 due to all the COVID stuff. And then you have New World, which is actually going to get an open beta from September 9th to 12th, and then it'll launch on September 28th.
And it'll make your fans spin so fast that they'll fly off the fly off and, cut your leg off.
Yeah, so hopefully, we don't have to deal with that. Hopefully they fix that one. Fingers crossed.
Oh, yeah. Which they have, I know, but
yeah,
I can't forgive them for destroying everything that has made sure to destroy any sort of graphics card or prevent them or delay them or anything is literally my enemy right now.
I hear
As a PC building enthusiast in a way.
Right. And then you have Jumanji: The Curse Returns, which is a digital board game based on Jumanji. That's come out in September. And then apparently there's Over Hasley, I think. Somehow it's Denmark the game. And it's a concert venue, I guess.
Okay.
So I guess it's like a game that you use to like interact with fans, and also as a concert space.
That makes no sense, but okay.
I'm sure there's got to be more to it than that. I haven't watched the trailer. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just like, what?
And all guys crossing over with Jungle Book. So you can see on my screen at least, there's a bean with a Tigger skin.
Okay.
It also replaced, which is looks like a pretty interesting game, I guess. And then Age of Empire 4 got a gameplay trailer, not like the history show that they got the other day. And then there's Valheim Home, and then Genshin Impact gained Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn as a playable character. Sifu is coming out February 22nd, 2022, and that looks to be like a, like a beat 'em up, 3D beat 'em up sort of game.
Okay.
And then it looks like they end up the show with Death Stranding Director's Cut. Yeah, it seemed to be a pretty good show overall. I thought this, from what I saw from the announcements, it looked like a better show than what Xbox had.
Yeah, but I'm not super stoked right now about honestly.
Yeah, like it's okay. The shows were okay. I mean, I was excited about Saints Row. Some of the games they had, they were pretty cool, but nothing really, groundbreaking per se.
Yeah.
Like, was there
For me, yeah.
Yeah, like, was there anything else that kind of stood out to you, be it positive or negative about Gamescom, be it from Xbox's stream or Gamescom you wanted to highlight even further?
Not really. I'm a little bit interested, but I'm not super like, oh yay, this is coming out. It's more like, oh yay, this is coming out. More money down the drain for games or something. Like, I want to make sure that the game is actually worth my time, kinda.
Yeah. More Jeff Keighley, Hideo Kojima walking simulator promotion. Just kidding. But it looked like they actually tried to, like, for the director's cut, like this improvement they're doing, they're trying to, like, improve, like, the pacing of the game.
I see.
Make it faster and not as much of a, walking sim.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're done with Gamescom, so I think we can move on to the announcement that one of the articles you brought up.
Yeah, this one was pretty interesting. It was
yeah. So talk about how Skate 4 is coming to PC.
Oh, let me actually see if it's actually Skate 4 or if it's just a
It mentioned in the article that will change with the next installment in EA's beloved series. So it's implying Skate 4.
I see. All right. Yeah, it says next installment. I see. All right. All right.
So that's what I was gonna say. Have you had any personal connection to the series or anything?
Not really. I've just been, trying it out with Ghostweller and stuff, and like, I'm not super into like skateboard sort of stuff, like for me at least, but I do like the idea of it because, Ghost and I just got into like PC gaming, and all of a sudden they're porting, or not porting, they're making a reboot sort of thing throw on the PC, and I mean, I just hope it's pretty fun compared to like Skate 3 and all that stuff, from what I've tried on the Xbox.
I hear you. Yeah, I think overall, I myself had some history with skateboarding games. I mean, I have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on my Dreamcast, but the one I've really gotten ham with was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. This isn't Skate by any chance. This is my history with skateboarding games.
Oh yeah, my history with skateboarding games also kind of started with like both my brothers and another friend that I used to have. But continue on with yours. Mine was just it's just oh yeah, it's a skating game and whatnot. Try to like glitch the game out or discover new things or whatever.
Like I still remember like until I first game of 3, you can use like cheat codes and get like Darth Maul playing it as that and stuff like that, and some of the other characters that were in the game. That was a pretty fun time.
Yeah.
But just looking at Skate though, I mean, I wouldn't mind trying Skate 4 at some point. I'm not gonna guarantee I'm gonna get it, but it seems like a pretty fun game.
I just hope with this director's cut of Death Stranding they had a skateboard mode like they did in MGS 2.
Who knows? Might make that game a little less of a walking simulator.
Yeah, more of a skating simulator.
Very funny. But yeah, like, do we have anything else to say about Skate coming to PC?
Not really. It's like, oh yeah, that's a cool little addition that they should have gotten a spot at Gamescom. I believe they should have. It's like,
right. Now, Ghost wanted to talk about House of the Ashes. I don't know if we should save that for next week when he comes back, or if we should talk about it today.
well, let's talk about a little bit about it. Is it like about what it's kind of gonna be, um,
Yeah,
but
so-
also save most of it, to talk to him about it later.
Yeah, I think that we'll just highlight it real quick, but then we'll talk about it like when he comes back next week. The first thing we do,
Yeah.
just to kind of make like a part 2. We'll split it off into 2 parts. I would say we'll talk about a little bit of it first, and then we'll save most of the talk for next week, so he can just gush about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what this game is. I never even heard of this game until I was brought up when we're trying to talk about, and you want to talk about it. So, do you know anything about this game series?
Okay, so let me so I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the other ones, but there were two, as far as I can tell, there were two different um types of these games that was released by Dark Pictures, I believe. There was Until Dawn. It's about a group of young adults who go on vacation with their from their I guess one of the kids' fathers or mothers inherited a large log cabin or something. Either way, they hang out and go on vacation at this log cabin. Like, it's a really big mansion, not just a log cabin. It's a big overarching mansion. But there's something out in the woods, and it's not happy that they're there. Madon or Median, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I say Madon because it sounds correct to me the way it says, like, the way it's written. I have no idea about it because I never got into that part, but I was super hyped about it Until Dawn. And this one, it seems to be another type of there's a monster sort of, or a mystery or something going on sort of thing. That's pretty much what it is. There's a mystery going on, and we're trying to like find out what the hell happens. Because with Until Dawn, you see like there's stuff to do with like ancient burial ground sort of stuff and all that other stuff, and like mythologies. So, this one seems to have to do something with Sumerian stuff.
Yeah, because I'm looking over here, like it's saying like Iraq 2003. In the
Yeah.
shadow of the Zargos Mountains, a military unit comes under fire from Iraqi forces. The resulting firefight causes an earth tremor where both sides fall into the ruins of a buried Sumerian temple. With all communications severed, our protagonists are trapped in a terrifying underworld they must navigate to escape, unaware that something ancient and evil has awakened in the shadows and has found a new prey to hunt. Now, like I said earlier, I believe Ghost will be able to talk about more of this in general, because I think he seems to be a bigger fan of it than either of us would. So I don't know if we have much else to say, and just let Ghost tell us the rest.
I apologize. I made a mistake. Until Dawn is by Supermassive Games. It's not made by Dark Pictures, but the art style is very, very similar.
Yeah, I think it is. This is all from Supermassive Games website, by the way.
What? It is?
Yeah.
Oh shit, maybe I did fuck up then.
Because you look on the top left corner of the website here, it says Supermassive Games.
Ah, sorry, I'm being dumb, but
like I said, I think Ghost has a lot more to say about this because, like I said, I think he's more interested in this than either of us are. I don't know if you agree.
yeah, I apologize. I don't know why I keep on blinking out and like being like, oh yeah, that isn't April O'Neil Teenage Mutant Ninja, and all you're talking about a fucking game that you literally said, and I apologize.
It's
Fuck.
fine. Like I said, I wish Ghost was not having a stomach. I kind of wish at times we were able to record this the next day, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
We can't stop it now. We're already like a third of the topics in already.
Yeah.
So, I think our next topic here. So, Alpaca, you brought this to my attention here. Would you mind explaining to me this whole Metroid project that got shut down?
Okay, so I just saw it. It said, "Oh, they got Nintendo'd." So I was like, "Oh, great! Another fan project gets cock blocked, basically."
Yeah.
So back in April, a group of incredibly talented independent developers, calling themselves Team SCU, released an impressive demo for Prime 2D. And it's basically a remake of Metroid Prime, but in the Metroidvania style. And it was simply just legal reasons according to the website. I just wish that, because they're not going to make any money off of this, I just wish Nintendo understood that, well, just that this stuff could be a really fun, like, this is a fan project. This is like, we love your product so much that we are making a non-canon fictitious version or a remake, not to steal away your not to steal your competition or steal your assets or steal any money or anything you'd get if you release this instead, but just to show that we love this series so much. It's just like, I wish they would understand that that's they probably never will unless there's a different change of corporation, different change of head, I mean.
Right.
Or just a general change of heart, I guess. um but I just feel like this would have been pretty cool to check out, like a 2D Metroid Prime, because like I never really got super into Metroid Prime. I played Hunters, and I've never really played much of Metroid in general. Um, but I do find the idea of like a 2D version of Metroid Prime interesting, and if anything, you know, they could have just let it be until I just feel like Nintendo is in this thing, is that they feel like these fan games are harming their sales for some reason, when it's literally just a fan project. I mean, I understand they have full legal rights to literally, cease and desist, but they're not harming your sales at all. Nobody's buying Metroid Prime 3D.
Right.
New, brand new. for the GameCube and anymore. You could make a remake or a remastered version or just a HD kind of like how Resident Evil 4 doesn't update the textures. It just, makes it 1080p and stuff. And, if they could do that, that's completely fine. But when it comes to like, you know, a different plane of existence with 2D to 3D or 3D to 2D, I don't know. It gives me a headache thinking that these people are so, I guess, arrogant almost that they don't understand that fans aren't there to get them. They're there to show that they feel like these games are worth being having fan editions. They're like they feel like these games are worth having like, you know, like if I had fan art of me, I would not, immediately destroy it because it taints my image or something or whatever Nintendo thinks. I'd be happy. Oh, hey, people actually kind of like me. They're willing to draw, art of whatever, you know. Um, that's pretty much all I have to say, though, other than just rehashing, the same mantra. Nintendo needs to stop killing fan games, sort of stuff. Um, so I'm gonna give it back to you, Hydro.
Right.
Um,
So
what's your opinion, if
what
you
I'm
do?
gonna say is that this makes us say that we need the rumored Metroid Prime trilogy on the Switch at this point. We just need that on there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, that is one, and two, we need to get Game Boy Advance games on the Switch virtual console subscription thing that they're doing as well, like a Game Boy Advance app, so that way we can get Fusion on the Switch. Because
That
Fusion,
truly makes sense.
because Fusion is not on there. Because you could play Metroid 1, you could play, but Metroid 2, besides the 3DS remake, because you can't
Yeah,
play that on the Switch, but at least get Metroid 2 and Fusion on there. Because you have a Game Boy player, like a Game Boy Advance sort of player, you can get
yep.
Metroid 2 and Fusion on there. And
Hmm.
now it's all the dilemma of how do you get people caught up with the 2D games because Metroid Dread's coming out later this year.
Yeah, and what I was about to say is that truly makes sense about what if they're they got rid of the fan game because they might be making they might be porting one of the they might be porting some of the games to the Switch, or this could as a rumor this might mean something, but other than it just being like, oh, Nintendo's cease and desisting because they can.
Right. But yeah, there's like a rumored like Metroid Prime trilogy that could be used to tie in with Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
So if this is simply because they're trying to make sure that hey, this would impede on, whatever trying to do with Metroid Prime, I could honestly somewhat understand it, but like you said, it's a fan game. They should just leave it alone because I don't know if you noticed, but like the last few years, Nintendo's been really aggressive against like emulators and fan games. Really
Hmm.
aggressive, like too aggressive, in fact, I feel.
And back then, you could not do anything Nintendo related without signing a release or something.
Yeah. So it's a whole weird thing overall. Like I don't think yeah, like this is just a weird news overall. I wish Nintendo like I have a Switch. I'm a huge fan of their games. I just wish they wouldn't do stuff like this.
Oh yeah, certainly,
So
because the preservation of video games, because video gaming has become a thing that is, it's become a very big phenomenon, compared to, even like 5 years ago. So just to think like, excuse me, game preservation should be a a higher priority more than ever now that like now that one NES, the NES isn't being fully supported right now.
Right.
By Nintendo, you can't get it repaired anymore because they
Mhm.
simply have just given up. I remember that happened like a few years ago. And I just say, like, if these cartridges, there are not an infinite amount of cartridges, but there's an infinite amount of copies of ROMs that you can have. So that's all I'm saying is that when all those cartridges get destroyed and there's no uh golden original copy, then that thing is lost to time.
Right. Just don't be like Atari and bury like thousands of copies of certain games just for the sake of trying to get rid of them. Let people have them.
That was different.
Right. Okay. I think that's it for that topic. I don't think I have much more to say on it unless you still have more to say.
No, yeah, like I said, I don't want to repeat the same mantra of Nintendo bad, preservation.
Because I'm sure there's going to be more topics that will come up regarding this over time that you all want to repeat the same point again, especially considering we're going to have other viewers from like, the audio side or the video side of the show, whatever. So
Nintendo big salt, and not the preservation salt.
Exactly. So our next topic for today, and I think this will be another one I would guess was on because he uses this on his Discord server, is the fact that Groovy is getting shut down. So, for those who don't know, Groovy is a bot that you would use on Discord to play audio on the server.
Okay.
So, pretty much happened that because Groovy can play all this music and stuff like that's usually copyrighted, Google is going after Groovy and trying to shut them down.
Oh, nice. I'm so glad. I am so glad they fucking did that. It's literally just a bot that like is playing audio from a video. That's not any more different than linking a video to somebody and having them listen to it.
Right. It is a weird thing. I don't know why they would go after something like this. Like, it's just like, hey, we want to play audio off of this, so have fun. And it's saying that the bot has been so popular, there's been reportedly over 250 million users of this bot.
I mean, I'd see how that would make a dent if, you know, if Google wasn't already kind of a monopoly already.
Yeah. And on top of it, too, it's like the creators were thinking that, hey, I was thinking that we were going to get cease and desist, but they thought this was going to be inevitable at some point. And that they're saying that on August 30th, the service will end, and that any premium users who had paid for the service beyond this date will receive a refund over the next few weeks. So at least they're trying to get people back their money. But the thing that's annoying, though, about this is the fact that it says on here, while it does support like Spotify and other music services, this is mostly Google targeting them because most of the music that they use on this bot is from YouTube.
Okay. Well, time to disable that feature and, not get rid of this bot. All right?
Right. And another thing that's keep in mind, too, is that it's like there's another bot called Rhythm, and it's like it's an article that we have on The Verge is stating, too, that if Google isn't happy with GroovyBot, then it's hard to imagine it's going to let Rhythm continue as well.
It's interesting. I think Ghostweller actually found out about that because I think I see Rhythm is on his Discord too.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it sucks because, like I said, this is a bot that's been used on many Discord servers. So, for those who use it, I'm sorry that something that you valued quite a bit is gonna be gone.
I am kind of too, because what if the Discord is related to music or something?
Right. So
I can tell that there's plenty of applications like Groovy could be, used for. However, you could still link videos, I believe. So if that is any solace, not really, but
yeah, and like I said, it's ending literally in like a few days. So we are recording this on August 28th. So as of this recording, it'll end in like 2 days.
I see.
So I don't think I have much else to say on this again. So let's talk about how Facebook should be bringing back some features on its main app.
It's almost like Facebook, doesn't understand. I remember we were talking about that. I said something similar to that. How Facebook was like, it's almost like they don't know what they're doing, and they're like, experimenting with something that is a bit too obvious that it wouldn't work or something.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that Facebook is bringing back voice and video calling to its main mobile app, and according to what this article is saying, is that the move that they're doing is following on the heels of an amended antitrust complaint that was filed on Thursday against Facebook by the U.S. Federal Trade Commission that could force Facebook to spin off its WhatsApp and Instagram apps.
I see.
So what's probably going to happen is that because of Facebook's size and that now it's capturing the attention of the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, it's speculated that they could start consolidating their apps because of it. And honestly, I wish Messenger could just be integrated with Facebook again. Like, why do you have to do this?
Oh yeah, it takes up more space, in my opinion. I've seen it, so
Exactly. I mean, I don't think we have much else to say on that, but it's just like, Facebook, can you just start consolidating your apps already? It'd be nice if I didn't have to have like these two apps, together, like separated, like just integrate them together.
Yeah, I mean it's if you go on Facebook itself, Messenger is right there on the
Mhm.
on the one short thing is I understand that Facebook, like I understand it wants to like kind of just like have a separate thing for certain people who just want to use Messenger itself. But if you go on like, the Facebook website, you see Messenger is integrated into the website itself, and it just makes sense to have it, on the app as well. Not just a separate thing. Anyways, onto Windows 11.
Right. All right. So I'm just yeah. So onto this topic here. So Windows 11 is gonna have. That's interesting about Windows 11. The first, they are actually gonna be making it so they're improving their Windows PC health check app, and they're gonna allow you to install it on older processors using IS. And if you have an ISO the operating system, you can do that. However, there's a potential downside with this, where for this article here, they're threatening the full Windows update if the CUs. So I would think on that is, I recommend installing the recordings if you can.
Yeah, might as well not.
Withhold your.
If I'm be honest, Windows 10 is going to be supported until 25, so 2025. So it's just hang.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'm good. Yeah. I definitely when I upgrade, I'm definitely going to get a new CPU for when I get Windows 11.
Certainly.
It's caused me to hold for Windows 11 for a long time. All right, so but other than me getting rushed, we don't have a comment of the day as usual, but again, we thank everyone who's been listening to
Certainly.
GAHCast on the all audio service that we've expanded to, and we thank you.
I am Flamin' Hot
And
Mountain Dew
other than
69.
that, I Hydroid 99. And Ghostweller is doing something
Bye.
with Monica. Until then, we'll see you all next time.
Bye.